Introducing first, the fighter to my left, fighting out of the B2 Digital blue corner. He represents Focus Fight Team and Club MMA. He specializes in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, from Cincinnati, Ohio, Ethan T1 Riley. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner. He represents Louisville Combat Academy and specializes in wrestling. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. All the way from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, David, the one and only Richardson.
Man, David Richardson looks like a mirror of Kevin Randleman.
Yeah, he really does. We just need a little bit of blonde hair.
Yeah, looks like a potentially frightening human being in the cage. Let's hope he puts it together. And Richardson said he was going to stand and trade, and there he shows off some of his wrestling skills. He's got to breathe in this position. Richardson appears to be holding his breath right now, and that is not what you want to do. So Ethan Riley's going to have to weather this storm. You knew it was going to be hard, you know, in the opening exchange, and Ethan seems to be figuring this out.
We're going to triangle setup there, Hacker.
Yeah, it's locked in. We'll see if Richardson's able to break out there, but he's got to be careful going forwards because the long legs of Ethan Riley can pose a threat.
If I'm David Richardson, I think I'm going to try to spin off, get a couple breaths, and start the stand-up again.
Riley is keeping very calm.
Yeah.
And you have to know that Nick Hubler's sheriff and Dave Robeson told him, you're probably going to get thrown right away.
Sure.
Just be ready for it.
And you know, Riley continues to attack the midsection of Richardson, and it's paying dividends because Richardson right now seems to be running low on gas.
Big knees.
Big lat drop right there.
Smart move on Richardson.
We'll see if Riley can work some offense off his back.
See, when you're as intense as Richardson is, and there's no doubt this guy is just, you know, pure intensity, what he's going to have to do is just kind of ease off of that, think a little bit, and just pick and choose when he's aggressive. Because aggressive, just it doesn't work when you got a guy that's also a good nail,
right,
like Ethan has shown to be.
He's working a Kimura, is Riley, on that left arm of Richardson.
I would probably say good luck Kimura in the arm of this guy.
Sure.
But he can use it to set a lot of other things up.
Sure. Now, this can potentially create a very difficult situation for the judges.
Well, you got a guy that's got dominant position, but he's not doing anything with it.
Sure.
And you got a guy, Ethan Riley, who's nullifying all the offense, you know, from Richardson's top position.
Ooh.
As we said that, Richardson lands a hard right hand. See, you got to catch your breath right now.
Yeah.
Richardson's having some issues with his gas tank, and it's because of the early knees and punches that Ethan is throwing to Richardson's midsection, which he's continuing to attack.
And that's just good coaching.
I think that's a very good game plan as well. You see a guy like Richardson step on a scale looking like that, you got to test his gas tank. And what that means, you're going to be waking up tomorrow with some lumps on your head.
I'm impressed with the boxing of Riley.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Great job.
And if you look at, you know, after the exchange, you got Ethan Riley, who's flowing with confidence right now because he sees that Richardson's starting to break down.
He is. I saw him giving Richardson a stare down across the cage, trying to gauge how the gas tank of Richardson is. I believe that's a lot of what's going on right now.
It's waning. It's waning, and it's because of all of the punches and knees to the midsection that Ethan has just been pouring on Richardson. And, you know, these aren't like really heavy punches. It's just repetition.
It's solid boxing.
Just putting it on him a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
I mean, that's
working
what it is. He's not going power shots to the body. He's just volume. He's doing volume body shots.
Should we expect anything less from Robeson and Hubler-Scherf?
No, the two of the best guys in our area. Now, if I'm BJ Ferguson in the quarter of David Richardson, I'm probably going to say forget the stand-up, get a takedown, and make it your life mission to get to side
And if you
control.
look at Ethan, he's already off his stool. He's already jumping around. He's off his stool. He already knows in his head what he needs to do. The amount of confidence that Ethan Riley has right now going into the second round is pretty impressive. Let's just see if he can kind of thread that needle. And Ethan is going to be going back to the body. Back to the body with his kicks. He's just doing volume. And David Richardson, what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to start leaning into his own punches because he's throwing from his heels. And when you throw from your heels, you're not getting as much power on it. And he's connecting, but he's losing an advantage.
Is that something that just comes with a lot of reps of boxing and kickboxing?
It also could be fatigue. It also could be fatigue because, when you see guys flat-footed, it's the first thing you see in a boxing match. Oh, he's flat-footed. That means he's tired. He's going to take the round off. And Richardson, I don't know if it's technique or it's his gas tank, but it's certainly something in the beginning of the round that he should have been doing.
And props on Richardson. He probably could come out right away and level
Explode.
change.
Yeah.
But maybe he wants to get a little stand-up.
If I were to
training
give Richardson some advice, it would be when you have these exchanges, why don't you work it to where you're closer to your corner?
in. Yeah.
Because every single time he's in an exchange like that, if you look at Ethan, he allows Richardson to come across the cage, and all of the action is right within listening distance of his own coaches. And Ethan Riley, that's 0-0. He's been training 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's where that comes from.
Not quite the same 0-0.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
We see Riley working maybe for a Kimura, maybe for a guillotine. He's threatening a couple different things. And you have to wonder if that type of offense off his back will start to work as Richardson's fatigue level is tested.
Well, if you want to talk about fatigue, you're also talking Ethan Riley,
Yeah.
who is a proud type 1 diabetic, and he's using his fighting in order to shed light on that illness, and that's something that can come crashing down too. So
Yeah.
he's really going to have to listen to his body. And if you look at Ethan Riley's left eye,
Yeah, he's actually not in a good spot right here.
he's mousing up under his left eye.
Both guys still hanging in there, fighting tough. This has been a pretty grueling fight so far for both guys, actually.
Well, you got 30 seconds left in this round, and right now the corner instruction that Richardson has gotten has paid dividends because if the round were to end right now, you can honestly say it's probably 1-1.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree.
That's just a credit to how good of a corner BJ Ferguson is. We give all of the props to Nick Hubler-Scherf and Jeff Robeson for how good they are, but BJ Ferguson as well.
BJ Ferguson certainly on a short list for best corners in the state.
And Richardson landed another heavy right hand. So now you're looking at the two gas tanks once again.
Yeah.
You got Ethan that is got more confidence, even though I believe he may have lost this round. And you got Richardson that's just trying to figure out a way to put Ethan Riley away, who's a little more tired.
In the first round there, we saw Ethan. He was able to right away shoot up a good triangle and lock it up. Richardson used a lot of his gas to explode up and posture up and sneak out of it.
What I think Richardson needs is just a little bit more experience. He's not training full time. He just is making the transition. And, you look at the specimen that he is, like he's just physically gifted.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a guy that's been training 10 years, and they're both 0-0. But that's the game. You can sit here and say, well, Ethan Riley's been training 10 years. It's not fair. Well, David Richardson's probably been wrestling since he was 5 years old.
Yeah.
He has been.
Has he? I'm guessing on the age?
That's 100% accurate.
Okay, so
according to him.
You can sit here and play devil's advocate going, well, wrestling is a martial art. Is it fine? Guessed on that
I'm
one.
showing Mike Davis my notes where,
Man,
sure
yeah.
enough, David Richardson said started wrestling at 5 years
Is it?
old.
Okay. Well, in essence, you're not going to sit here and tell me that's not combat sports training either. So. And based on Richardson's ears, he either wears his headlock quite a bit or he keeps people off of him when he's wrestling. Because those things they look good considering the amount of mat time he's got.
Headed into round 3, it's safe to say this fight is either man's to take.
So Richardson should look to explode and just, I try to close that.
I was just going to say, good kicks there from Ethan, but you got to be careful kicking a good wrestler.
Yeah, when you got hips like Richardson, it's going to be a nightmare trying to get him off of you.
And as you said earlier, Hacker, that'll be difficult to get the Kimura, but that doesn't stop him from trying it.
Yeah. It's not to say that it's impossible. He's at a good angle here. He can work to improve it, but
no, very strong arms from Richardson.
Yeah, that's typically what tends to happen. Straighten that arm out.
With someone of that physical stature.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's the type of muscle that Richardson's carrying. That's from mat time. You can sit here and go, wow, he's lifting weights constantly.
Yeah.
I think that's from wrestling. That's.
And Richardson, for as much time as he doesn't have training in jiu-jitsu and MMA, he is doing some things good. This is the third time we've seen the triangle happen. He's been posturing up. See if he's able to posture up
I
here.
don't see Ethan Riley being able to pull David Richardson's head down. He's also got his right leg exposed, and if I could see Ethan maybe trying to do a scoop and
David's trying to punch the face.
I don't know if Riley has this triangle locked in. Does it look like it's at the angle he needs?
You can see on the camera, there's space here. You can see on the camera, but he's working it tighter and tighter.
He's got over a minute left
and
in
now
the
it's
round.
tight.
And he's winning this round from his back.
Look at this.
Yeah, Ethan Riley is winning this round.
He's in full scorpion.
From his back.
It almost appears that David Richardson's okay just chilling here.
Yeah, I don't know that Riley has the angle on the triangle, does he?
You got a guy in dominant position, but you got a guy stealing the round on bottom based on positioning. So whether he has the angle or not, he's winning this fight based on just the offense that he's showing that he wants to do rather than actually completing it.
That isn't always what MMA judges see, regardless of state.
Right. Anywhere. 25 seconds left. Armbar. Now, you can't really...
The jiu-jitsu defense shown by Richardson is incredibly impressive for a relative newcomer to that world. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Ethan Riley may have won this fight. I think he stole that third round. From his back, I think he may have stole that round.
It's going to be an interesting scorecard. I wouldn't want to judge it, but it was a great fight.
And I'll tell you this right now, man, the amount of sportsmanship these guys are showing, I think both of these guys got a very bright future. Richardson probably needs a little bit more gym time with sparring other than mat time because his jiu-jitsu defense was excellent.
Yeah.
Ethan, I know, trains no-gi, so he's not belted. But there was some high-level stuff going on in there, and Richardson seemed to find answers, to counter it.
I was very impressed with as we said earlier, the cornering by B.J. Ferguson and Richardson's adjustments after the first round.
I think if Richardson would have had the bout in his corner, closer to his corner, I think he would have handled his offense a little bit differently, at least in the third round.
Yeah, imagine a scenario in which Richardson learns how to pass guard.
Imagine a scenario where you're weighing in and your opponent looks like Richardson.
I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to come down with a sudden case of scared.
I wasn't wearing my mask all day. I've got some concerns.
Who's the guy out of Knoxville, Tennessee? What's his name?
Owen St. Preux.
Yeah, who they say he shows up for the fights, and oftentimes his opponent sees him, and then they back out.
Leaves. Yeah, if I see somebody like Richardson coming to my door for some money, I'm writing a check.
Yeah, you
We're friends.
you
Here
can have
you
my
go.
kitchen sink, brother.
Here you go.
I don't want no problems.
Yeah, but very well spoken. Here with his father. I got a lot of respect for both of these guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge 1 scores it 30-27 for the red corner. Judge 2 scores it 29-28 for the red corner, and Judge 3 scores it 30-27. All 3 judges score it for the red corner for David Richardson.
I'm not so sure about that. 30-27?
Yeah, that's the second one we've had.
As I said earlier, oftentimes this type of matchup creates an interesting situation. for the judges.
I'm not sure that that's interesting. I think
Yeah.
that's a failure in the system.
Okay.
I agree.
And listen, I'm not taking anything away from Richardson.
Sure.
The guy fought his butt off. He deserves to have his hand raised, but not in this fight.